Hey guys, good morning and welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn about histogram and frequency polygon. So both of these look like bar graph, but they are completely different. So in bar graph, we plot our values against x and y points, but here we show distribution of our data set. So in our data set, we have multiple values, 10, 20, 30, 100 values. So this histogram or polygon is used to visualize our data or to show our data, how our data is grouped into each interval or bins of small section. Okay, so let's assume we have values between 1 and 100. So the histogram will show values, how many values are there between 1 to 10, and then how many values are there between 10 to 20. Similarly, 20 to 30 till 100. So it will show in each interval how many values come. Okay, so it is simple. We have only one function, hist. So the interval we can define our own, or it will take its default value if we don't define. So I have x equal to n dot a range here, 50. So what it will do, it will give me values from 0 till 49. So 50 values it will give, and I am just using p dot hist and passing my data set x and then p dot show. So this is the simplest form in which we can display our data. So I told you it looks like bar graph, and it is very raw, in raw form. We can see the bins, so how our data is grouped into each bin. So here we are seeing 0 to 50, from 0 to 50, and the bins or the intervals are equally distant, and the values are also equally given, 0 to 49. That's why we see like single bar, and it is not single bar, there are multiple bars, but the width is like occupying complete space, so it looks like one single bar. So for that we have multiple values. So width, to adjust the width, color, edge color, and there's one more property, r width. Okay, so we will see that now. So let me use width equal to, let's say, 3 units. Okay, so now if I run it, wait, I have to close the previous one. If I run it, so see, between 0 to 10 there are 2 intervals, and in each interval we are showing the distribution of our data. So 0 to 5 maybe one interval, so in that we have 5 values. So the data set is equally distant, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 throughout the equally distributed our data set. That's why we are seeing same level of histogram. So 0 to 5, 5 values, then 6 to 10, 5 values, then 10 to 15, 5 values, till 50. Okay, so this was our width. So let me change our data set. So instead of n.array, let me give a list. So let's have 1, 2, 3 between 1 to 10. Okay, then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 between 10 to 20. So 5 values between 10 to 20, then only one value between 20 to 30. Then so this interval 0 to 10, 10 to 20, so I will create that also. Okay, then nothing between 30 to 40, then let's have 45, 46, 47, 49. So this will be our interval, not intervals, our data set, and we will give our own interval. So interval property can be given by using this bins equal to, we have to define our interval here. So when we did not give this, so it took our default intervals or grouping, and it took 0 to 5, then 6 to 10, then like that. So now we will define our own grouping. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So our grouping or intervals will be like 0 to 10 one interval, then 10 to 20 another, 20 to 30 another, 30 to 40 another group, and 40 to 50 is another group. So our grouping will be, or intervals or bins will be like this. And width I am giving 3. Okay, let me give also, let's go to next line, color. Okay, color we can give red, there's also edge color, this property. So edges will be of different color, equal to, let me give green. There's one more property, I will show you it later. So if I run it, so see, our data set is this 1, 2, 3, 11. So between 0 to 10, how many values we have? 3 values, 1, 2, 3. So 3. On y-axis you can see 3. So it shows the distribution of our data, how many values we have in each interval or group. So, and we have defined our grouping or intervals like this. Bins equal to 0 to 10, then 10 to 20. So 0, 10, 20, 30. So between each, how many values are coming? And between 10 to 20, how many values are there? 5 values. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 20 to 30 only 1, 21. 30 to 40 nothing. Then 40 to 50 again 4 values, 45, 46, 47, 49. So so the value or the structure of our histogram is dependent upon the values which come between each of these intervals. Okay, so this is our bar graph, sorry, not bar graph, histogram. And what is frequency polygon? So it is similar, but in frequency polygon we only see the shape of this complete histogram. Okay, nothing inside, only the shape, outer lining. So here edge color is red. If you can't see, let me make the internal color blue and edge color green. Let's see if you can see still the green. I can see the green, maybe, but I don't know whether you can see or not. So let's make it red. Edge color a little darker. So now blue and the edge color is red. Now here one more property is there, width equal to 3. So this 3 represent 3 units, and that unit measurement is some internal specification. Okay, so 3 unit, 4 unit, or if I do 5 here, so we will see a little thicker bar. Now there is one more property which is R width. So R width, here we have to give in point. Okay, 0.1 or 0.2. So between 0 and 1. Okay, so 1 being the highest or the thickest it can be, so the maximum width, and point represent, like 0.5 means 50% of the total width each bar can have. So 50% of each bar. So what each bar can take, so maximum of each bar. So 50 is 50.5 is 50% of the total width. If I close it, delete 0.6, let's do 0.6, slightly thicker, 60% of the total width. So R width in terms of percentage or some point we have to give, and that represent that much percentage of total width. So 0.6 means 60% of total width, 0.7 means 70% of total width of each bar. Okay, so width, R width, color, H color, X is our data set, and bins is our interval. So this property is important means. So here I have given data in terms of list. Square brackets, no. You can give a numpy array as well as tuple or as well as data frame, one dimensional data frame, or which is called something like series. So series also you can give here. So a collection of multiple data which will represent our intervals. So list, tuple, array, a series. Okay, so that way. And one more property which I was saying is there, edge after edge color, comma, hist means histogram, hist type. Okay, so hist type default is bar. Even if we don't give the default, it will take it as bar. So bar graph. In terms of bar graph, it will show our let me remove this color. Okay, so default is bar. Even if we don't give, it will take it as bar. So we didn't give. So what we saw was histogram with hist type property given as bar default. So if I run it, we get the same data. Okay, so in terms of bar. Now this is histogram. Now if we want to see frequency polygon, the only change we have to do here is this, from bar to step. So here in frequency polygon, I said we don't see the internal thing, we only see the outer body. So outer body is like outer edge, which shows us the stepping, how the data is going. So from 0 to 10 we have 5 values, then it will go up to 7 values if we have 7 values between next interval, then drop down to 2 if we have 2 values in the next interval. So we will see here, if I run it, so you can see 0 to 10 we have 3 values. Okay, 0 to 10 3 values, then it jumped went up to 5. So in 10 to 20, between 10 to 20 we have 5 values, then came down to 1. So between 20 and 30 we have only 1 value. Then it came down again and it's on x-axis right now, which is 0. Then went up again to 4 values. So this is our frequency polygon. And when we have set hist type equal to stepping or step only, that means we are seeing histogram, frequency polygon, and we see the outer edge only. And when this property is bar, then we are seeing histogram. Okay, both are similar, both are used for same purpose but represent data in slightly different manner. So in histogram we see bars, in frequency polygon we see the outer lining or outer edge, which shows us the stepping, how it is increasing and going down, decreasing. Okay, so and we can use the usual properties, which is p dot x label, y label, and title and legend also. To use legend, what I said, we have to give name label equal to some name. So age group, and x label, let me give age bracket, and p dot y label, let me give number of people in each age. I don't know whether it will take such a long message, but let's see. Now if I run it, so 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30 is our age bracket. Okay, so age bracket of 10 years, and then number of people in each age group. So in 0 to 10 we have 3 people, and then 10 to 20 they are 5 people. So similarly in 20 to 30 we have 1 person, and 30 to 40 0, no one, then 40 to 50 4 people again. Okay, so here one more thing, p dot legend. So that will just show what our graph or this graph is about. So it is showing age group, so this represent age group. So legend is nothing but a name or a brief description about our graph. So if I do here his type equal to bar, so you don't need to do bar. If you don't give anything, it will take bar as default. So default behavior is treating this function as bar or histogram. Okay, so simple. You can give title, p dot title. So title will appear here. Age distribution, let's give it p dot title. Now if I run it, so you will see the heading or title as age distribution. Okay, so same thing, x text, y text, limit, you can use everything with this. So I hope you got it. Watch it one more time. If you have any doubts, leave the doubts in the comment section below. I will try to answer all the doubts. Okay, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.